Welcome back. All the smoke coming to you from Sacramento.
Sac Town.
Sacramento Kings training camp as they prepare for the upcoming season.
Light the beam on that ass.
Oh yeah, I was doing a lot of beam lighting last year, Jack, even though I wasn't on
On and
the
off
court.
the court.
Yeah, I wasn't on the court lighting the beam with him, but I was lighting the beam. But today we got one of my brothers, someone I got a chance to play with, someone I've just a good dude.
Yeah.
You know, it's when you find good people, you want to make sure you stay in contact with them, and our next guest is one of those. 15th year or 16th year?
Going into 16, man.
Oh boy,
16.
yeah, 16 of them. Talk about it. Welcome to the show, man. JaVale McGee.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate y'all.
Welcome, man.
Thanks for being here.
Well, let's talk about some content before we get to basketball.
Okay.
You just dropped a documentary. What is that about?
So I just dropped the show on my YouTube. Everybody remembers my show in the bubble.
What's your YouTube?
That I had my YouTube, JaVale McGee.
Yeah.
I had a show during when I was in the bubble. I was vlogging, and everybody loved it. So I definitely had to put my content up again. And now I got a show called Ranked and Ready on my YouTube. It's 10 episodes. It'll be come out once a week. It's about the number one fifth grade team in Dallas, and it's just showing the real deal of how to be the best in AAU. I don't feel like everybody's really showing that. There's a lot of cookie cutter basketball out here, and we got cursing in it and everything like that, which everybody's like, oh, faux pas about. But one big thing that I'm really happy about it is all the boys have their fathers in their home. That's something different.
That's rare too.
Yeah, very rare. That's very rare in our community. But that was one thing that really drew me to it. So yeah, the first episode came out today, so that's gonna be pretty cool. So just log into that, subscribe, like all that good stuff.
Any other stuff coming down the pipeline? Obviously, the more years you get in the league, the more you kind of obviously keeping basketball first, but you start dabbling in other spaces.
Sure.
I know content is something you're really serious in. I've been seeing you on Players TV with some kind of wig on and some other shit. Yeah. So what? Any other thing we could be looking out for?
Yeah, man. I'm getting into acting, man.
Okay.
I'm getting into acting. I've always been in producing, music and movies. So I'm doing it all, man. Especially when it comes to like the media and things like that. I've always loved it, man. It's something I've always been passionate about, even in like college and shit. So yeah.
So year 16, three-time NBA champ. When you hear that, like, you have to pinch yourself because you're still in the midst. So I know you haven't sat back and kind of looked at it yet.
It really is like that, man. Sometimes you do have to wake up and be like, because I remember. First of all, I wasn't one of those in high school. I wasn't one of those like knew I was going to the NBA. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't all McDonald's or all American or any of that. So when I was in the NBA, I made it to about 6th, 7th year, and I was in the average is 3 to 4. When you hear that at rookie transition program, you're like, well, shit, the average is 3 to 4. So if you make it past 4, you did pretty well. So I got to around 7 or 8, and I believe I got injured. And I remember calling people and like calling my girl, like, shit, we still gonna be together if this shit over?
Yeah.
Like, for real, because like you don't know. Especially I had a real injury. I had a rod put in my shin because I had a stress fracture. So I was having pain for about 2 years after that. So I was playing through the pain. I just didn't know if I was ever gonna not have pain. So the fact that I'm here at year 16,
crazy.
Man, blessing, man.
Yeah.
Big blessing.
I mean, it's a rarity now. I mean, obviously to beat the odds, but, we played 15 and 14 years respectively. There's not too many vets in this game anymore.
It's a young man's game.
It's a young man's game. We was talking about that as we were watching you guys in practice. Like, what kind of honor do you carry knowing that, man, I've been through 15 of these training camps. This is year 16. I'm here with a new young team that has championship aspirations. I've won 3 titles myself. What kind of veteran leadership and not only the game, but just kind of the mental side do you feel like you can help this Sacramento Kings team with?
I mean, I definitely bring that leadership on been there, being a player that's been there. Being a player that knows exactly what it took. Clearly I wasn't the superstar on the team, the number one guy, but there's 15 guys on the team, so it's 13, maybe 12 other guys that are in the same position. You know what I'm saying? And we don't win a game off of just 2 people.
No, absolutely not.
So I mean, coming into this role, I embraced it. When Mike called me, he was the first one to call me, and it was just a beautiful conversation that we had. And the role that he wanted me to come in here and play, I was excited to play it. to come be a leader, to come show on the defensive end what we can do and hold down that paint. And I mean, you want me to run the floor, block shots, and dunk? Hey, you called the right guy.
Come on, man.
De'Aaron told me when I was talking to him today, he was like, they got you making plays and stuff now because you play through the big, and I know you enjoy that. So how refreshing is that to you?
Love it.
Because we've been watching you play a long time. So motherfucker tell you, JaVale, go out there, do your shit. I know you like it.
People don't know. Hey, in the summertime, JaVale be playing point forward, shooting threes, bringing the ball up, mixing people. Yeah,
for sure. I mean, and I be seeing like you people, they be thinking we don't be seeing comments and shit, and shit like that. So they'll be like, yeah, he not gonna do that in the regular season. So I'll be assuming like do the fans think if you're big that just block shots, sits in the dunker and plays defense in the off season, you just gonna block shots, sit in the dunker and play defense?
Nah, you work on your game too.
My career, I would have only lasted a little bit if that was the case.
Right.
But I love the game, and that's not. And mostly everybody in the league that what their role is now wasn't their role when they were in college.
Right. When they came in,
so they can get there. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I'm just passionate about the game, man, and being able to touch the ball as a big when even if you're not scoring the ball, just
feels good.
It goes through you every time.
Good.
You're not worried about it. It's just being able to facilitate. And I'm a hell of a facilitator that's never really got the opportunity to do it. So just being here and being able to have the ball in my hands and get my teammates open, and I might average 3 assists this year, which is crazy on my side. So it's fun though, man. Out of anything, man, just being here with these young guys and the passion that they have and the way that they run the floor, man, it's beautiful.
Pace, hell of a pace. De'Aaron Fox, you've played against him for a handful of years. Now you guys are on the same team. Not so much his game, because we all know how incredible his game is. What have you seen from him as a leader?
Oh man, hell of a leader, man. He's a vocal leader, but he's more of he gonna show you on the court what type of leader he is. And one thing I was surprised at, and I watch basketball, but I didn't really realize how good he is on defense.
Play D.
Oh my God. I'm trying to, because I'm on the second team, so when the second team play the first team every practice, I'm trying to hand it off. I can barely hand it off to the man he guarding, because he's shooting the gap and it don't even look like he gonna get to it. But he's so fast and he has great hands. So yeah, it was really impressive just being here every day and being able to see that.
That's dope. So compare your first training camp in Washington with our brother Gilbert Arenas to camp 16 out here in Sacramento.
Oh man, this is a breeze.
It's a cakewalk, right?
It's a cakewalk. It's getting easier every year, and clearly that's good for older players. But if these younger players knew what we were doing 16 years ago,
the two-a-days for like 2 weeks,
but real two-a-days, ain't no the second of the two-a-days just shooting. You got 2 practices.
For like 2 weeks.
Yeah, straight. You exhausted. So it's totally different. So this is a breeze. It's fun, if anything.
Anything stand out with you on that Washington team with Gil? I mean, we see him now kind of finding his niche in the media space and saying wild, outlandish, but a lot of factual shit. Anything you remember about playing with Gil?
No, he always been wild, man. Just say whatever the fuck you want, man. You give a man that much money, goddamn, and power, he gonna say whatever the fuck he want to say. That's just his personality. So yeah, he always been that way, man. The one thing about it though, he never like they always would try certain young players. Motherfuckers never tried me ever. I don't know. I had a real short temper when I was real young, and it worked against me, but it worked for me sometimes too.
Yeah, you gotta have the best of both worlds.
I mean, there used to be that stereotype of light skin was sweet, but I don't know where that came from.
I
don't know where it came from. I don't know nothing about it.
Yeah, you had something to do with it.
Your observation, kind of the state of the league. I mean, you came in 16 seasons ago, and like we just talked about, training camp was night and day different.
Night and day.
What is it's obviously a young man's game, as we spoke to it earlier, but what have you kind of seen? You've kind of played in almost 3 different eras of the NBA, so to speak.
When I first got in the league, man, it was the beginning. When I got there, it was.
What's your first year? 05, 04?
08. 08 was
your first year. Okay.
08 was my first year. Don't try to do that to me, bro.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't even add up in my head. I was just trying to go quick. But
you trying to add 3 years on it.
That wouldn't be a bad thing.
But 08 it was a big man's game to where like you had bigs, and those bigs were you give it to the big and they gonna go to work in the post, blah blah, and then it started to wean away from that. If you weren't the big that was getting the ball, then you was a rebounding big and that type
Dunker.
of big.
It was still high low.
Definitely. So now, and then when I was in college, I shot threes and everything. But when I got to the league, they was like, we just want you to run the floor, block shots, and rebound. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna focus on that. And now it's spreading out. Now they want every big to shoot threes. Versatility. They want every big to have a pop.
You got to go back in your bag
for sure. And it's a beautiful thing. If you love the game, then it's not a curse. It's a blessing. You're like, okay, finally they giving us some freedom. But it's just a blessing to be able to be through those three areas of basketball. Because in the middle area, guys like Draymond and them, they was canceling all big men out. They was like, oh no, you gotta go sit on the bench. Yeah. Draymond over here handing off to Steph all day, so you can't even play. So it's definitely a beautiful thing to be here and just see the progression.
Me and Matt basically, we both dealt with negativity in the media especially before we got in the space and while we were playing. And I think we've always been guys that's big on that's been able to deal with it and still shine, you know what I'm saying, like diamonds. You one of those people who I got so much respect for, because so much been said from people on the outside looking in and even our peers, but it never stopped you from being JaVale McGee. Talk about being able to deal with that and being mentally strong, because just because you're in the NBA don't mean you're mentally strong.
No, it don't. It don't at all. There's a lot of people who can't go through this shit and be successful at that. There's a lot of people who can't perform and still go through stuff off the court. You know what I'm saying? But in the long run, I've always looked at it as a job, and I'm a professional. So I can't let So I can't let the things outside affect what's going on inside. Because this is like, and I'm sure y'all feel this way too. When y'all got on that court, that was the only piece y'all had. Y'all was like, well, shoot, all right, I'm on this court. I'm gonna finish this
in 24 hours.
For sure, a whole 24 hours.
Outside of the times we were fighting on the court, that wasn't peace. But outside of the fights, peace.
But even the fights, you had fun in those fights.
That's a part of it.
Was like
knowing you had your boy back.
Yeah, it was like it's like a camaraderie to it. You like, okay, I'm with that, and then you go home, and then I go home to my girl and two girls. So it's all. It's all calm and you know what I'm saying? Then I get to go back in the gym and I get to battle, you know what I'm saying? So it's just a beautiful thing to have the best of both worlds. But man, just locking in and being able to believe in myself, man. For real. My mother taught me at a young age, man, can't nobody define who I am. I'm me from the jump. I'm me when I get there. I'm me when I leave. So ain't nobody going, oh, you this way. No, I've been the way I've been this whole time. And you're not going to change how I've been. So everybody in the media, they going to say what they got to say, but I'm always be me and come out on top in the end.
Your mom ever bust your ass?
She did. That's a crazy but you gotta add who my mama is though.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
You gotta put that on top of that.
Your mama would bust your ass.
She wasn't no stay-at-home mom.
My mama was a beast, man. My mama got.
She was her. Like we say, I'm him. She was her.
She was her. My mama got two high school championships, 2 college championships with Cheryl Miller. She got Olympic gold medal. She was in the She got drafted in the WNBA at like 34. Like she was like number 2 pick or something at like 34. Like that's a crazy concept.
Yeah.
So she got overseas championships. So my mother is really a GOAT. Her jerseys, she's in the rafters at USC. So when we was younger, I think like the last time she beat me though was like 14, 15 when I started like dunking for real and shit like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, my mom was a beast for sure. And on and off the court too.
Shout out Pam. Well, your sister hooped too, right? I mean, how did having your mom, normally you think, okay, my dad is gonna, you had the mom, but your mom had more accolades than a lot of dads out here. So how did that help you become who you became, not only as a man, but also as the player in this game?
Oh man, tremendously, man. If it wasn't for my mother, I wouldn't have played basketball. You know what I'm saying? Like my mother saw it from, obviously, so when I was born, I was 11 pounds, 11 ounces. So from the jump, my mother was like, "Oh yeah, you playing basketball? It's nothing like
what is that?
a bowling ball,
right?"
Yeah. So she automatically, and she's always put me in positions. And I was always a good kid to where like I listened to my mother. Like you need to go there, you need to go there. All right, I'm gonna go. My mama ain't sent me wrong nowhere else, so I'm just listening to what she say. And she's always put me in positions. I used to be on AAU teams where I didn't play, and she'd be like, "No, you leaving? We going to a different AAU team where they not as good, but you gonna get your rock rocks off so you can get your confidence up and shit like that. She's always put me in positions to be successful, and I've always listened to her, and it works. So.
And the biggest thing that you haven't said, she's a winner.
She's a winner.
She ain't just play basketball. She's a winner,
She
bro.
wasn't-
That's
yeah,
a big difference.
Big winner. For sure.
Shout out Miss Pam.
Big Pam.
You've been around a lot of greatness throughout your career. We touched on Gil and those Washington teams. The Warrior run where you won 2 championships. What was it like? I got a little bit of a taste of the experience in 2017 with you guys, but to have KD, Steph, Dre, Clay, Iggy, Steve's a rock star. Explain that environment and how much fun you had and what it felt like to get your first 2 rings.
Oh, it was amazing, man. It was amazing. One thing I really absorbed and picked up on is players running the team. You know what I'm saying? That was my first dose of players running the team. Like it's not like they run the team to where they're coaching, like Steve Kerr doesn't coach or anything, but they have a lot of say in the organization. All 3 of them, Clay, Steph, Draymond, Iggy, like they listen to them and okay, you want to implement this, okay, even in plays or off the court stuff and things like that. I had never been a part of nothing like that. It was always players, coaches, and upper staff, and then we all separate though. We really don't have we're not really conjoined, but the players really at Golden State, they really showed me how this is a business and we're all business partners.
We had a chance to experience that because we had a lot to say so when we played there in Golden State, but I think that has a lot to do with E House, the trainer E.
Yeah.
Because he listens to us. He care about where we want to stay,
right,
where we want to eat. He care about
Exactly.
all that. So that's a big reason why the players have a lot of influence because of E. You know what I'm saying? And that's good. I know they have way more influence than we had, Steph and them, but the E House has a lot to do with that because he forces the organization to care about what the players want.
Yeah, that's rare.
That's very
super rare. You got players on teams that literally have no say. It don't matter, like you going to good cities, like, okay, we want to stay over tonight. We don't gotta practice the next day or a game the next day. Okay, we want to stay over in this city, stuff like that. A lot of teams don't have that. And organizations don't realize, like when you give guys that leeway and they go out, if they go out into a city together, that helps on the court the next day. Like, man, we had fun last night, but all right, come on, let's go to work.
Take care of business.
You know what I'm saying? So that really helps in organizations. I don't think a lot of people understand that.
To get your first 2 rings, what did that mean?
Everything, man. It was beautiful, man. It was a beautiful thing. And I was going through that stigma that was on me of oh, he's a dumb player. He doesn't know a lot of things. He's not a leader.
You can't be a dumb player playing in Golden State, period.
At all.
Can't get on
But
the
I remember, not to cut you off, I remember when somebody was saying that, I remember Matt said, this is your exact words. Bro, he might have the highest basketball IQ on the court. When they said that about him, that was your reply. He might have the highest basketball IQ on the court.
JaVale's a smart player. He may make some shit here and there, but a lot up here. You know what I mean? And that's what I took from it.
A lot of people don't realize, like, a lot of my mistakes that I've made on the court that people like to highlight have been just because I'm like, shit, I'm a caged animal here.
I'm gonna go get
All they
it.
want me
They
to
let
do
me
is
out.
just dribble hand off and roll.
You gotta
every
let it
goddamn
out.
day. And I'm like, man, I want to take the ball up. I want to shoot the 3. I want a motherfucking jab step. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot of things I want to do. And I've never been able to do that. Like, been allowed to do that. So it's always been like, all right, I'm gonna just take this one play. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
All right, let me get this off. You know
try to
what
get it off
I'm
right
saying?
quick.
Type, it ain't never been, okay, I'm gonna just continue to fuck some shit up. It ain't never been no shit like that. But they try to make it like that for sure.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's why we control our own narrative.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
COVID hits. You're with the Lakers.
Yeah.
You guys are playing really well.
Amazing. We're playing amazing, by the way.
Yeah, playing really well. You guys go inside that bubble. First, explain what that bubble experience was like.
Hated it.
Hated it.
Hated it with a passion. I'm a social person, man. I'm a real social person. And I'm not a person that likes, like, on the road, I like hanging out with my teammates. And
You don't like to be
everything.
confined.
I don't like to be confined, but on the road, I like hanging out with my teammates and going places and everything. But at home, I don't like hanging out with seeing my teammates every day. Like, after practice, cool. I mean, during practice, cool, blah, blah,
After
blah.
that, at the house.
But after that, I'm going to the crib. I'm going to go to the mall. I'm going to go somewhere. I'm going to go have dinner with my
Unwind.
friends and things like that. But when we're in the bubble, it's just like, practice, go back to the hotel room, practice, go back to the hotel room, game, back to the hotel room, walk around. I see other NBA players. I'm like, why do I see players from Houston, players from Milwaukee? Like, oh, I don't know.
I don't want that.
I need my freedom. But I felt really confined in the bubble, and I didn't like that aspect of it. But I mean, we were there for a goal. So, and that goal was to win an NBA championship. So that aspect of winning, I loved. I loved every part of that. And it was fun on that aspect. But just the isolation thing, I didn't like that at all.
Well, some people try to put an asterisk on that championship, and for us as former players and the outside looking in, to me, there should be a star by that championship for every reason you just said, and the fact that players are such creatures of habit. We get in our routine,
Absolutely.
We have our families. Like you said, you like to go home and chill, walk around the mall. When you're confined to a small space with the outside world is burning down while you guys are in the bubble playing, you're checking on family, you can't really see them. Like, to me, that adds a lot more pressure and a lot more, I guess, glory once you guys finally do make it and do win it.
And we were coming from LA. So, LA is always something to do.
Popping.
Always. Right after the game, all right, we going to dinner. Dinner spots will stay open until 1 or 2. We went in Oklahoma or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So that isolation was literally a day and night. Just, okay, do whatever you want until nothing. And lock in and focus on what we got going on. So it was definitely different, but I don't think it should be an asterisk. Like you said, I think it should be a star for sure, because that was definitely harder than it would have been if we was playing regular season. It would have been smooth.
Home crowds and all that.
Home crowds.
Yeah.
We had, bro, one time when we were in the bubble, it was so funny. We were I'm on the bench and cheering, and then the crowd noise skips, like it stops, and then I realized, like, wait, they're pumping in crowd noise.
Yeah.
We're really the only people here right now. Like, this is an open gym.
Right. Pickup game, for real.
This is
glorified AAU
This is an official open gym. That's all this really is. Like, it was so weird. And then it came back, and then the crowd noise came back. And I was like, bro, this is like the Truman Show or something.
The Truman Show. I want you to speak to these two real quick. First of all, Bubble AD, because Bubble AD was on some other shit.
Yeah,
what did you see
crazy
from Anthony Davis playing alongside of him and being his teammate?
He was locked in, man. He was locked in, real locked in. Getting a lot of shots up, really focused on what he had to do. But I feel like everybody was locked in on the team, to tell the truth. Like, it was everybody. And it was his time to shine, and he showed up for sure.
LeBron's greatness.
Oh man, it's not just on the court though. That's the crazier part. You know what I'm saying? It's just so meticulous. I don't know how his brain works, but it's so meticulous to where it's on the court, then it's talking on the court, then it's talking off the court, then it's talking. It's group dinners. It's just so much that goes into it that he makes you feel like, okay, we all a part of this team, and we all going to win this championship. You know what I'm saying? Even the motherfuckers who wasn't even playing, they locked in like, yo, what's up? What we need to do? So
it's a good leader.
It's beautiful, man.
Brief stint with the Nuggets. Jokic. What did you see from Jokic?
Whew. A beast. A beast. A real beast.
He got it all, huh?
He got it all, man. He got it all. And then his pace is so slow, you think, like, where's this coming from? Like, how is this? But he knows. I feel like he sees the game at a slower pace than the rest of us. They say this is a random fact, by the way. They say cats see in like 60 frames per second or something. So when y'all moving, the cat just already know, like,
where you going?
Like, come on, bro. Like, I feel like he sees like in a different frame per second or something.
Yeah.
He'll literally Euro step you and then just wait while you're in the air and then throw the floater, shake you, pump fake, and just no facial expressions at the same time.
Yeah.
Don't look tired or nothing. I'm just like, how's he doing this? And then after those games, he'll get 30 and 15. He'll go lift after. He lift after every game. Heavy too.
Strong.
So I'm like, okay, he locked in. He deserved all the glory he getting for sure.
Luka and Kyrie.
Luka and Kyrie, man. Whew. Kyrie's handle, oh my God! His feel for the game, the way he can put people in position, and then at the drop of a dime decide to go get buckets is amazing. It's truly amazing. Luka, just an all around scorer. I don't think it's weird just being there and seeing it. And truthfully, last year I don't think he was even in his best shape. So, and he averaged what, 32? So I think if he had the team that Bron had behind him, Luka could average 42. like 42 points. Like he does it so easy. It's crazy.
Obviously a current member of the team, but you've been in the league for a long time, and Sacramento hasn't been a very good team. It's a whole new face now and a whole new energy. Shout out to management and Mike Brown, who they brought in, and then the players they brought in. When the Kings were making their run last year, like what did you think about them and how they kind of captured the NBA?
I mean, I was impressed. I was definitely impressed. For them not to have been in the playoffs for so long, and then for them to work so hard and get so far in the playoffs at the pace that they were running. What was it? The number one offense in
NBA history.
In NBA history.
Not in the league.
You know how hard that is?
History.
In the history, 75, 76 years, or however long the league's been around. That's hard to do. But Mike did a great job when he came here. He put guys in the right position. They were running the right plays to make sure that their pace was unmatched.
Well, we appreciate your time. We got quick hitters right here. First thing to come to mind, let us know. Album or song that's on repeat for you right now?
The new Drake album is on repeat right now for sure.
You like it?
Yeah, I'm rocking with it for sure.
What's your opinion on the state of hip hop? Cause I know you're a music guy.
Man, I just wish we had more conscious rappers get the pedestal the way that all the other rappers.
No substance in the music.
There's no substance at all. Like we need at least like two conscious rappers who aren't talking about killing each other.
We need like 5 more J. Cole.
For sure. Not even J. Cole though. Like
Talib.
Or even rappers that make love songs.
Yeah,
like y'all don't love nobody. Like
right.
All
like,
killers,
you
right?
can't be mad all the time,
right?
You love somebody.
You can't be
bro.
that guy.
You know what I'm saying? And the funny part, like I love Rod Wave too.
Yeah,
I love Rod Wave.
My kids love him. My kids put me on.
Yeah, Rod Wave is hard because he actually like talking about emotions.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Especially as black men, bro, we don't talk about emotions, or we just don't know who to talk to about emotions.
Right.
So the fact that he's making music like that, I honor it, man. I just got put on the Rod Wave too. I've known about him and I've heard his popular songs, but I actually been listening to his albums. I'm like, okay, he actually like a black man getting into his feelings, but in a masculine way. It's an amazing thing, man.
One of your funniest teammates in throughout your career.
Oh,
someone that stands out.
Nick Young, man.
Swaggy
Nick is just funny for no reason, man.
He burnt out.
Yeah,
he's
man.
the head coach of the Big 3 team enemies. They just won a championship. He's the coach now. They just won a championship.
Oh, for real? Shout out to Swaggy.
Nick,
Shout out
man.
Swaggy
Shout out to
P.
Swaggy P.
Shout out Swaggy.
One player from Kings history that you would have liked to play with.
White Chocolate.
The second person that said that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Best player in the world right now.
Sheesh. I'm gonna go Giannis, man. I'm gonna go Giannis. Yeah, I'm gonna go Giannis.
Who would you like to see on All the Smoke? But you have to help us get your answer on the show.
Is it what do you mean get my answer on the show? Oh,
you better help us.
Yeah. It doesn't matter if it's an athlete or
anybody who you want to see.
Now, baby.
We have everybody, so
I don't know if he's been on here yet, but Diplo.
Diplo be dope.
We did some shit with Diplo in the summer.
Yeah, Diplo be dope. That's my homie, man.
That's
Wes is a cool guy.
I like that.
Man.
That'd be dope.
I like that.
We'd love to have him.
Well, we want to thank, obviously, you and the Sacramento Kings organization for having us here during training camp. Although you're new, this team has aspirations this year. That's your solo camera right there. What can the fans expect from you and this team coming this year?
Hey, man.
Yeah, go ahead and sit up. Yeah, clear your throat. Talk that shit.
I just feel like the fans got to be ready to light that beam every motherfucking game, man.
Yeah.
Just lock in, man. We just need y'all behind us, and we gonna go far and hopefully win an NBA championship this year, man.
That'll be number 4 for you, right?
Number 4.
Big dog. Appreciate you, man. JaVale McGee. You can catch us on Showtime Basketball YouTube and the iHeart platform Black Effects. Welcome back. All the Smoke coming to you from Sacramento, California. Sacramento Kings training camp. And it's an honor to be here. Sacramento coming off their first playoff appearance in about 16 years. And the person we're sitting next to had a lot to say about that. Welcome to the show, Kevin Huerter.
Appreciate you guys having me.
Man,
Welcome,
thanks for coming, man.
Thanks for your time.
Year six. Thoughts, preparation this summer, expectations for the team. Give us a little bit of all that.
It's crazy already, year 6. Like,
Goes by fast, right?
Fast.
Yeah.
Feels like I was just a rookie, honestly. Year 2 in SAC, so doesn't feel like year 6. It really kind of feels like year 2. Just good year, feeling a lot more comfortable here. Everything was moving really fast last year. Obviously, after the trade, getting here in the summer, working out with the team, and the start of the season can just be crazy. It's my first time going through it, so definitely a lot more comfortable. Obviously excited for the year ahead, but I feel like I'm getting old. Like I got that on me.
Right? You still feel good though. Still moving good.
Yeah.
The nickname Red Velvet. Where did that come from?
That's what I want to know.
That was so I tweeted this. I think like a year ago. It was on Twitter. I tweeted it because I actually didn't know myself like where it came from. People just started saying it on social media like Instagram, and I tweeted like, where did it come from? I forgot what I said, and a bunch of people tagged this one lady, this one account. So I guess at the time, like the Hawks social media, they put out something like, we got to find this guy a nickname, and a bunch of people started tweeting it out.
How do you like it though? Because sometimes names are given that we don't really fuck with. How did you like it?
At first, I didn't love it. I didn't love it
at first.
It was, but it kind of came along and it stuck. Like that was kind of something people loved. So it was one of those things.
It's dope because you never heard nobody with that nickname. So you're the first,
especially not in the NBA.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
I think it's dope.
Yeah. They had like they're calling me like Red Mamba stuff in college, but I feel like that was already so overused.
Yeah.
It was just like, you needed something that was a little bit unique. That
Velvet was original.
So it was original. So
fits you.
It's cool.
Last season, career high in points and 3-point per shooting percentage. Obviously coming over from Atlanta, Mike Brown brought this system over, and you guys were the #1 offense in the league. You really found your rhythm. One thing I found that I wasn't really aware of because I didn't get to see you play a ton in Atlanta, but obviously a knockdown 3-point shooter, but your ability to make plays out of the pick and roll, your ability to get downhill and finish. You think that's an underrated part of your game that people don't really talk too much about? Because I was very impressed with just your all-around offensive game, because your labels are just a shooter, but to me, much more.
Yeah, I think it's definitely underrated, especially coming out of college. I think it's something I'm continuously always having to prove. Prove I'm just more than a shooter, a guy who can't just run off the line and your job is done. But like you talked about our system, like I think that's a big part of it. Just being really comfortable with the guys we're playing with, the system we have, how unselfish we play, how fast we play. Just like a system that obviously I really want to be a part of, but really brings out the best of my game. And felt really comfortable in it. Didn't take too long either. Kind of got off to a really good start. And just able to get to my shots, being super efficient, and for how fast we play and how much we cut and move. It's it can be anybody's night, any night, which is it's fun to play in.
So obviously you mentioned earlier, year 2, coming into year 2 in Sacramento, you're feeling a little bit more comfortable. But what was year 1 like? Obviously the history of this team and the lack of success they had in the previous 16 seasons. You were a part of a team that kind of broke over the barrier, got to the playoffs. What was last year like? Can you sum up just last year as a whole, from the excitement from the city to, obviously you guys going 7 games with Golden State. What was last season like for you personally?
It was, to be honest, it was a big change. It was kind of a culture shock. I was born in '98, and so
damn, I graduated high school in '98. Yeah. That's crazy.
So born in '98, so I think in my lifetime growing up playing 2K, NBA Live, like all those games, like Kings were never good at those times, and they were good very young days of my life. And so I grew up not watching or really following Kings basketball. Get drafted in the NBA, you come out to Sacramento once a year. Usually it's, you're on your West Coast trip, you're going to Portland, Golden State, the LAs, and you're in and out of Sac. So I didn't know a lot about the city, and it just felt like I'm from New York, upstate New York, so it's the complete opposite side of the country. And so for me, it was a big change. Going from say Atlanta's the biggest market, but a bigger market team to a smaller market was also a change. But right when I got here, the excitement around the team, obviously the support that they get from the fans right away was super noticeable. The way that Domas coming in the year before, finishing after the trade deadline half the year, and I think Fox was hurt that year and missed the second half of the year. So there was a lot of good momentum going into the year that I was just kind of able to step into and take off running. And so the city made it really easy to come here. We talked about the way we play, made it really easy to make that adjustment. But everything off the court, I think, at first was a little bit of a shock, just moving to the West Coast for the first time to a city and a team like I don't really know much about.
Again, career numbers during the regular season. You struggled in the playoffs against Golden State at times. What did that learn? Because, obviously Jack and I have been through the wars, both got opportunities to win championships, playing a lot of playoff games. Those hurdles getting, when you go through a little bit of a struggle in the playoff, that shit weighs on you really heavy. What did you learn from your experience in the playoffs last year with Sacramento?
Yeah, just got to continue to get better. You give Golden State a lot of credit. Stuff we were really good at in our offense, they took away our first and second options, which, as you guys both know, that it's going to happen in the playoffs. And then, individually, I don't think playing as well as I know I can, and efficiency, shooting, making shots, didn't make shots at the level I know I can. And so, just a lot of ways, got to continue to add things in my game. If teams are going to take certain things away, got to be able to go to the second and third option and just continue to get better as a player.
Did you experience any Atlanta nightlife when you was in Atlanta? Did you experience the strip clubs?
A little bit, for sure.
Bit. For sure. I just wanted to make sure you got a little taste before you left.
Did you see his jersey hung up on any of the walls? Because his jersey's in
retired.
like 3 Atlanta strip clubs.
Yeah, they retired my shit probably.
Well, we played with Lou Williams. So Lou I was on Lou's team for a full year.
Lemon Pepper Lou.
So he had to show us around. I was still a young guy. Still a young guy at the time.
Right.
What people don't know, if you go in Magic City today, Lou Will has its own section that's glassed off in the corner of Magic City. It's called Lou Willville.
Wow.
Lou Will has his own city on the map in Georgia where he lives, and it's called Lou Willville.
That's incredible.
So, yeah, he's the GOAT. He's the GOAT.
What's the thing when every time that I've been there, we've gone with Lou. So that's like the only experience,
the VIP experience.
The food is laid out.
Full thing.
Yeah.
You got stuff named after him on the menu.
I just want to know how much money you got to drop to have a section named after you and a city named after you. You got to throw some bread out there, don't you?
We'll just say Lou's a legend.
Okay.
He's a legend.
Let's leave it at that.
Yeah. Speak on the environment last year in the playoffs here. I got a chance to experience, thanks to Matt. I came to one of the games, two of the games actually. And the environment was crazy to be in the playoffs, to get that playoff feel back here, a new arena. Talk about the environment and the feel from the playoffs last year.
Yeah, incredible. Game one, when we ran onto the court, it literally just sends chills down your spine. Like the crowd standing up, you can just feel it. Like you feel how long it'd been and how ready people were just to see playoff basketball. And like you felt that the second you walked on the court.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think I spent that whole warm-ups just trying to breathe, breathe
Right.
slowly,
It's
like
crazy,
through
man.
it, like your adrenaline is running crazy.
I get chills. I didn't even play, and I get chills thinking about like the environment that Sacramento created for, that the fans created for you guys last year.
It was incredible. My third year in the league, our first playoff series we played at MSG, so that was a COVID year,
Mm-hmm.
and at the time that was like craziest environment I played against or played in. You guys, teams run out at 18, 20 minutes on the clock, and a lot of the times during the regular season, like it takes a little bit for the crowd to wake up, maybe tip off a couple minutes in the game, then they're finally into it. And we ran out MSG, and it was 18,000 people standing, booing us already. And right away I was like, this is crazy. This is playoff basketball. This is awesome. About. And MSG is like legendary. It's like everybody knows the crowd should be like that.
Mm-hmm.
And like I thought our crowd here, like running around, I was like, this is even
louder.
better. Like this is louder. There's more energy. Like it was, and we were the home team, which obviously helps. But like it was, I'm getting the chills talking about it. Like it was an incredible feeling running on them for the first time.
Like the beam.
Yeah.
Gonna be a lot of that this year, huh? Like the beam.
Indeed.
Hope.
Talk about guarding Steph.
Ooh.
He had 50 in Game 7. I mean, that's what good. That's what good.
It's a great player.
That's what GOATs do. You know what I mean? But being able to share the court with him and to compete with him, that's what I tell people all the time. I got a chance to play against Mike, Kobe, and LeBron, right? So just the honor and just to be able to share the court with them mean a lot to me. 90% of the world can't say they had that experience. Sharing the court with him was such a big game. It didn't go how y'all wanted it, but just talk about being on the court with such a great player, such a legend like Steph.
It is. I think at this point in my career, you played against these guys enough that that awe factor, the shock of playing against them has gone away. But like you said, my rookie year playing against D Wade, LeBron, KD, Stephs of the world, it was first time you're like, man, I'm on the court with these guys. But like in the playoff series, like that was, a lot of our game plan for that was keeping someone on him, like pressuring him the full game. I think what any team has tried to do against the Warriors in the playoffs is try to wear them down.
Yeah.
And the Warriors, every single time they wear the other team down, just with their fitness level and the way their offense goes, like they flip it on you. And so we knew that going into it. And I'll say we were the younger team. Those guys have been doing it for a long time. We were a deep team all year. We had a good bench. And so at least at the start of that series, we're like, all right, we're going to try to throw bodies at them. Like the games were 2 or 3 days apart, which I think helped them a little bit. But those guys just don't get tired. And that I think was what was most impressive about me is like their efficiency level just never dropped at any point in that series. We got up 2-0. And I remember we win game 2. I believe it was close at the end. Steph either missed a game winner in the first or second game.
Yeah.
And so Clay is like walking off the court, kind of like looking at our bench, like nodding his head, like all right, like we got a series. I remember like remembering that, like he knows it's not over. And we did in the locker room, like we went in and it was all business and we didn't get ahead of ourselves. But I remember like there was never any wavering from their side, which was also equally as impressive.
Right.
And so to start with Steph, he took 38 shots in that game to have the stamina to be able to do that. And for how well he can shoot the ball, like he's going to score 50. He'd have to have a historically bad shooting night for him to not get at least 40. Yeah. And Clay in the same breath, like Clay's been through obviously a couple injuries so far, but like he just felt like he never got tired. Wiggins was huge in that series coming off. He didn't play the second half of the year, came in with good rhythm, momentum. And so just a great learning experience, I think, for all of us, coming away from that, playing against the champs, seeing what it takes to be at that level. And we're close. Obviously, we had our chance to win that. Yeah. But just great series for us.
Yeah, I mean, you guys had a few chances, game 3 and 4, to win those games. And then obviously game 7, was what it was. But, I saw the growth during that series in you guys, you know what I mean? And those are the kind of experiences that you guys are going to lean on this season. Going to 7 games, granted it was the first round, you guys went up against a dynasty, although they didn't win last year, that they're still a dynasty. So I think there was so much learning. To me, it wasn't really losses. You guys lost the series, but I think you guys learned so much as a team about yourself and where you feel like you need to be. Like you said, their stamina level, their efficiency level, it never wavered no matter what the series record was. So I think just kind of from the outside looking in and seeing you guys being that younger team that's kind of on the climb, like our Lob City teams used to be the older team that would beat those young Golden State teams right up. Like we literally beat them the last time before they went on their run. And I remember talking to Dre and that how much they say they learned from that. So I think it's really dope that you guys got a taste of that and really going to be able to put that to work this season.
You hope. We definitely did. Just the physicality, level play it takes to win at that level. For sure.
A lot of things got to work. Toughest guard at the 2 spot right now for you?
Probably go Devin Booker right now. Donovan Mitchell too in the same breath. We play against Book more.
Yep.
He's a tough shot maker. He
can score from anywhere on the court.
Score from anywhere. Ultimate confidence. He's super aggressive all game. He's another guy who knows he's going to get to his spots. Can score from the mid-range, score from deep, plays a lot of minutes, plays every game. You talk about the guys, I don't know how many games he played last year, but it was over 70, 75. Plays a lot of minutes. So he's good, man. He just incredible jump shooter, just gets through spots and makes a lot of tough shots.
Booker's a motherfucker, boy.
Yeah.
All right, quick hitters. About to get you out of here. One album you've been listening to on repeat lately, or a song?
Lately, the new Drake album just came out. Been listening to that a little bit. A lot of the new albums that are coming out, I'm not a big fan of like hip hop stuff nowadays. So like I keep going back to like
a little bit older.
For me, old stuff, like old Future, old Kanye, old Drake. Like I'm kind of recycling a lot of trying to find new music from albums that were a while ago. I'm like, maybe I haven't discovered yet. Just because like a lot of the new hip hop nowadays,
I can't get with it either.
I'm not loving it.
I'm with you.
So
you ain't by yourself. Who's most likely to be late for the team bus? If I was on your team, it would definitely be me. But who would most likely be late
for the team bus? Honestly, Mike. Mike was like the amount of fines.
Coach?
Coach.
Oh, really?
For sure. Mike is.
We have to talk shit to Mike about that.
Oh, you guys saw Malik's energy in practice today. Yeah. Like Malik's always talking. So Malik's just great energy all the time. And so as every team, you have your fine schedule. If you're late, each team, usually individually, hey, you're fined this much. And so Mike set the standard very, very early on. Like if you're late, you're going to get fined. Like there's really no, hey, you get 1 or 2 in the bank before we start doing it. And Malik held Mike accountable for everything the rest of the year. He's like, every time, he's like, literally to the second, like before games, to team meetings. And of course, Mike, he's probably like in a coach's meeting somewhere. Right. He's rushing from something. He's actually late. But yeah, Mike, he said it to us. It was like 20 grand in fines last year.
Did you guys get to shoot for the fine money?
We did, exactly. That's why we love it when guys are late. Yeah. It's like everybody celebrates when they're late.
I remember them the good old days.
Free money.
One Kings player from the past you would have liked to played with?
Probably J-Will.
Oh,
white chocolate.
White chocolate.
Yeah, was a motherfucker too.
I mean, his highlights, like,
and he a super cool dude too.
Is it cool? I haven't met him yet.
Yeah.
He's cool, dude.
Super cool.
Man.
He's the type of guy, like, he's probably still playing like once or twice a week.
No question.
Just
no question. The local Y.
Yeah.
What do you say? You got a better chance of pissing in a hot sauce bottle.
A hot sauce bottle. Yeah. Best player in the world right now.
Best player in the world. I think you got to go Jokic.
Yes.
I think you got to. I mean,
got to.
I think you got to put winning first. You put Giannis in the same breath. You can put Steph, probably KD in the same breath. But right now, Jokic, he's at the top. I think for sure.
That's solid. Who would you like to see on our show, All the Smoke? But you have to help us get your answer on the show.
I'd like to see Malik. I think you guys have fun.
Yeah, that's my
I don't know if he's been on the show yet.
Nah, I was telling him Malik is a wild card. I was literally telling him when we were watching practice, like, watch Malik. He's funny.
He is a wild card.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know if he does a lot of podcasts, but he's funny, man. He's just like, he's always got something to talk about.
I like his energy.
He's always just bringing energy. Exactly. It's like every day, you're going to hear and see Malik. And so it just kind of picks you up for the day. So
Shannon, you need to help us get Malik. Shout out Shannon. She's in here. She makes everything happen.
She got the dope snacks.
Yeah. Hey, Kev, well, before we get you out of here, that's your solo camera right there. Speaking to Sacramento fans, what should they expect from you guys this year?
Man, hopefully you can build off year one. Really excited to get out there on the floor again. Hopefully you'll continue to build towards a championship here in Sac.
Well, man, that's a wrap. Kevin Huerter,
Red Velvet,
Sacramento Kings. You can catch us on Showtime Basketball YouTube and the iHeart platform, Black Effects. See y'all next week.